All right, I want everybody to stop paying their taxes until this is fixed. Something has got to change. I went online and I tried to change the address on my driver's license. And I was told that I needed to update my browser. But when I checked for my software updates, I was told that my browser is the most recent one, which I already knew because I always update my software just as soon as I get a notice that there is some new software to be had. So I have the latest version of software, but I am not allowed to change the address on my driver's license online. So I got in my car and I went over to the driver's license office, and it was temporarily closed, and there was a sign on the door telling me to go down the street to another location half a mile away before I got to the railroad tracks. And I went down there and I went in and I told them I'd like to change the address on my driver's license, and she said, "We can't change the address on your driver's license at the temporary office. You have to go to this office." And she said, "Oh, by the way, you should do it online." I said, "I can't do it online because you're telling me my software isn't up to date," and it is. So I drive all the way across town in the traffic to the new place, and I go in and they tell me, "Well, you should do that online." I said, "I can't do it online." So they tell me, "Well, then you have to get a new driver's license," which means I have to wait in line, a long line, and have my picture made again. I don't want a new picture. I'm perfectly happy with the picture I've got, and I do not want to wait in that long line. I want the government, who takes so much money from the people, to get its website act together and let me change it online. As much money as the government takes from people, it should have a website that works. This is ridiculous. It is obnoxious. It is unsustainable. How are people going to earn the money to pay their taxes if on their day off they have to work to give the government money? All these obstacles are preventing us from having a day off and getting rest and getting unstressed from all the work we're doing to give you money. And another thing I'm tired of is seeing all those cops up and down the highways waiting like vultures. No, like hornets waiting to sting people. I'm sick of that too. There are two things that the government needs to consider before convicting people. How dare you convict people who have harmed no one anyway? But you need to consider what was the intention of the lawmakers and what is the letter of the law. And if the intention of the lawmakers was to protect people, and you're putting innocent people in jail that you have convicted because they didn't live up to your rules and regulations, which are like hurdles that nobody can jump over, you are enslaving people, and this is unsustainable, and you need to change it. You need to change it now. And I am writing to everybody. I'm writing to the Supreme Court. I'm writing to the Attorney General. I'm writing to the Department of Justice. And I'm writing to the World Health Organization. I'm writing to everybody I can think of to write about. I am writing these letters. And everybody else who watches this video who is going through similar stuff needs to be writing letters too. Because sitting around twiddling your thumbs in long lines for no reason at all, because the government doesn't have a website that works, is contributing to the problem. It is complacency that has allowed the government to mutate into this inefficient, unacceptable, obstacle-producing, enslaving monstrosity that it is. And it needs to stop, and it needs to stop now. And if you are not willing to write letters like I am, and I'm going to give you a website address, it is www.fascismtofreedom.us. You go there and you can copy the letter that I'm writing and get all the addresses, and you can tweak it just a little bitty bit and send it yourself. Because when Jake Pickle was the congressman, I went in and I sat down and I had a talk with him. And I shook his hand, and he told me, "I pay attention to the letters I get because I know that when one person writes a letter, there's at least 70 more people who feel the same way." And if you people aren't writing letters and getting the attention of these people and telling them you need to get the government's in shape because it is unsustainable the way it is and it does not deserve to exist. You need to either go out of business or get yourself together. And if you aren't willing to stand up and tell the government this, you're part of the problem. You're contributing to it. You're allowing it to go on. How are we even going to have time to go stand in the line to buy groceries that are probably tainted with all kinds of chemicals and GMOs? I can taste it when I get a tomato that has been spliced with a dang silkworm DNA to make it tough. I can taste it when I get watermelon that tastes like an old dead goat. What do you think they are? They're Monsanto working with the FDA to try to kill us or what? To keep the food on the shelf longer? Do they care whether it's good for us? No! I am sick of this. Has the world gone crazy? Why are we putting up with this? Why are we paying our taxes to have a government treat us this way and support businesses who would kill us to make money off us? This is insanity. Wake up, America. Wake up, government. Let me tell you something. It's easier. I bet you if I was in jail, I would at least have time to play cards instead of work all day long to try to give the government money because their website doesn't work and all their offices are closed. This is insanity. It needs to change. This world needs to change or it is going to implode. Because people can't afford to even pay your taxes because you got them so busy doing things they can't do. What do you think we're supposed to do? How do you think the world is going to continue with all this stuff going on? Get your act together or go out of business. I have no guns. I am not dangerous. I'm just saying that I would rather be in jail than spend my day off wasting my time like this. And I don't want to do it anymore. And I'm not willing to give you any money to make it so. So make it unso now. It needs to change. I'm writing a letter to everybody I can write a letter to, and the letter is going to be on the website. www.fascismtofreedom.us. Go to it, copy the letter, and send it in to all the addresses I list. Okay? Help me get this government in shape. If we, the people, had not been so complacent for the last 200 years, the government would not be in this condition. I've been begging y'all to start a pact about the concerns you have and start making changes, but no, you won't do that. Can you buy a stamp? Can you send a letter if I write it? Jeez, wake up! No! Would you rather sit around talking about Zionists and all this crazy stuff that you can't do anything about, or would you rather do something about your home state, the local government that's falling apart and deteriorating to the point that you can't even enjoy life and get a day of rest and relaxation because you're working your tail off to do nothing for them, trying to give them the money that they should be hiring a good webmaster with? What is wrong with you people? All the people of the people of the United States of America are just as complicit in this as the U.S. government is. I mean, the state government, all the governments is deteriorated to a state of unsustainability. I'm telling you, this cannot go on. You do not deserve to exist anymore. You need to go out of business. And you know what? I would rather sit in jail and at least I would have the room service of people bringing me food to eat and I could play cards once in a while. At least I would have a little bit of time to do that. You know, you don't have to come get me. Just tell me where to go check myself in. I'll go check myself in because it's hard on the outside, so hard it looks easier to me to go on the inside. And why do we have our jails full of people who are doing nothing to harm anybody? A lot of them are even trying to love people to the best of their ability, as pitiful as that might be. And they're in jail for this stuff. Why don't you get them some counseling instead? Well, who's going to support them? The tax money, I'm tired of this. You know what? I could pay so much more money in taxes if you didn't have unconstitutionally vague, broad, and overreaching laws that are intruding in people's personal lives, because there's a whole lot of stuff that I could be doing for a living, but I cannot because I'm restricted by the law, that would harm nobody. And if I did it, I would be in jail for it. And there's a whole lot of people that are in jail for just going ahead and doing it. And they shouldn't be in jail because they have harmed nobody. In fact, they have helped people. Marijuana laws are one of them. Loving people for a living is another one of them. And you people need to change it. You government people, you need to get off your tails and change the laws. Decriminalize this stuff that is convicting people who have hurt nobody. How dare you? This is supposed to be the land of the free and the home of the brave, and we have huge numbers of people who are in jail for harming nobody. How dare you mutate this country from a constitutional republic into a fascist oligarchy? Get off our backs. Wake up, people. We have to stop them. And government, you need to back off. And you need to get your act together if you want to continue to exist, because there's too much out there that is unsustainable. You're the ones that are unsustainable. You tell us that we shouldn't be making so much trash and that we need to recycle. Your military-industrial complex is putting more pollution on this planet than any of us are. All of us put together are not doing near as much damage to this world as the military-industrial complex is polluting it. How dare you tell us we're unsustainable? You're unsustainable. Now get it together or go out of business.